What's one thing in your day that just makes your day instantly better?
Lunch.
That's a good answer.
It's on the nights where it's like Josh Baldwin concert, you know, where it's like, oh my gosh.
Who's your person?
God, who doesn't annoy you?
I know.
Well, I find myself in the virtual woods again, this time with my friends, Josh Baldwin and David Leonard. Guys, welcome to the campfire.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's so good to be around your campfire here.
So the idea here is that this isn't going to be a normal interview, right?
No,
we love you guys. We love your music, but you're tired of talking about what meaning's behind the song.
That's the truth.
So the best conversations happen around the campfire. So we're just hanging out for a little bit. And so to kind of set the tone, the first thing I want to ask you guys is, when you go to a radio station, what's the one question you're most tired of being asked? Because I want to make sure we don't get anywhere near it.
Oh gosh, I've had bad ones. I feel like I do get the same one. It probably is like the meaning behind, you know, a certain song.
Yeah. Because sometimes the song kind of speaks for itself, right? To try to explain what it's about, you're like,
Or, you know, what's even worse is when there's not like some big, well, maybe there's a, you know, it means a lot, obviously, but like there's not some big profound like writing behind it or you know, it just like, it just kind of happened. Then you feel, sometimes you get the pressure to like, I got to make this sound way cooler than it really was. Like, just kind of got together and we just wrote that song that day, and it ended up being special, but it didn't feel magical that day.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
So maybe that's probably, and it's not like it's annoying. It's more just like I'm scared. I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta like,
That's true.
Yeah, you know.
All right. Well, we can stay away from that. So it's a little bit of a strange question, but I feel like you can learn a lot about people. In fact, last week, the guys at St. Real, they learned about each other during this question. So
Really?
have you ever collected anything, or do you currently collect anything?
I mean, I probably musical gear is the thing that I collect the most.
Yeah.
Guitars, keyboards,
Okay.
studio stuff.
You collect shoes too, kind of.
I collect shoes. I collect hats.
Do you wear the shoes you collect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I don't know I'm trying to think if I collect anything. Anything I collect, I definitely don't have a lot of them yet.
Yeah.
I would love to say I collect acoustic guitars. I have a decent amount, but not like enough to feel like I'm a collector.
Yeah.
I collect golf balls. I don't know, and then I get dispersed.
Then you lose them.
I lose them, and then I collect more.
All right.
I don't know if I collect anything.
That's all right. You don't have to.
No,
There's
I want
pressure.
to now.
Just sometimes.
We'll stop at the mall on the way home.
I know. Let's go to the antique mall and I'll start collecting stuff.
Old coins,
Yeah. I need to do that.
arrowheads,
All right.
Arrowheads, bullets.
bullets.
We can go look in the fake creek behind the fake campfire
Yeah.
for some arrowheads when we're done here. All right, let's go back to your teenage years. What poster was on your wall?
Oh, Michael Jordan posters. Michael Jordan posters all over my wall.
Yeah.
Big sports fan.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
Yeah, like I've watched it 3 times through.
So good. Isn't
I've
it?
watched the whole thing through. Yeah, it's my favorite documentary of any documentary ever.
Yeah.
And it's just,
My wife's not even a sports person. Not a Michael Jordan fan. Was like hooked.
it's still amazing. Yeah.
So
they
good.
did. It's so well done. I mean, I could watch it again for a 4th time and be all in and hooked.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
know everything that's gonna. I mean, I lived it. I know everything's gonna happen anyway. But like, yeah, it's great. That's
Okay.
my favorite.
I had Michael Jordan, but I definitely had Todd Day, who played for Arkansas.
Oh man.
Then he went and played for the Bucks, I think.
Okay.
But
I don't even know this name.
I mean, that would have been
An early
late
ni-
80s,
90s?
early 90s kind of
90s.
thing. But yeah, I remember it like there was a poster in the Arkansas Gazette or something, and I remember pulling it out and putting it on my wall. But,
That's funny.
yeah.
These aren't too embarrassing answers.
No, we don't. I don't have. I don't know if I'm embarrassed about anything of my life. It's more funny.
What about you?
Truthfully, covered in hair metal bands.
Really?
Yes. I mean, Skid Row, Kiss,
Yeah.
Motley Crue, all of it. Like,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's a little embarrassing now, especially working in Christian radio.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's cool.
We all have our past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys brought up sports. This is a total campfire question.
Okay.
If you had like unlimited time, like, there's no clock ticking on this. What could you do first? Do you think you could hit a ball pitched by a Major League Baseball player or score a touchdown in the NFL?
Oh gosh.
You got multiple attempts.
I mean, I don't think I could do either, but
This is campfire
I feel like the
fantasy
touchdown
here.
would be
Yeah, I feel like
a little
I kinda think so.
more likely to accidentally kind of get
Yeah.
one.
I think so too. I think
You
eventually I could sneak past somebody.
I think
Yeah,
hitting a
we're-
fastball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Yeah, if we're on the 1 yard line and they gotta throw
Yeah.
it to somebody,
yeah, you
I
could
think
catch it.
I think I could somewhat get open.
Right. Maybe it might
There's
just
a
be
chance.
because it's like the whole lineman rule. Like a lot of times linemen are wide open because they don't think they're going to throw it to them.
Right,
That would
yeah.
probably be me.
Yeah.
They're like, they're not throwing it to that guy.
Surely they're not.
Even though I'm a big Panthers fan. I'm from Charlotte. And a big Carolina Panthers fan. And I was going to say they wouldn't think it was me because I was too small to play the game. But our new quarterback, Bryce Young, is literally my size.
Oh, really?
5'10 and a half, 5'11", like 198.
Yeah.
Although I've lost like 10 pounds, so he's got 10 pounds on me. Still, it just freaks me out thinking our franchise quarterback's my size. I'm walking out there.
I'm with you. I feel like unlimited time, no matter what. I'm never going to make contact with the ball. Like,
Oh,
you
no.
have the hand-eye coordination, or you don't.
Yeah.
That's hard. It'd be hard enough to hit like a 70-mile-per-hour ball, just much less.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are friends, right? I don't know if everybody knows that, but this isn't like the first time you've met.
No.
You guys know one another. Is there like a particular moment that like cemented your friendship? Like you're like, this isn't just like another musician. This is somebody that like I could do life with.
None comes up to mind.
Still waiting for that moment.
Yeah, no, I don't know if we've had that moment yet. No. I don't know.
I mean, we were making a record together. That was kind of when we first started hanging. So I mean, I think when you're doing that kind of stuff, you do a lot of life real quick together. And he was coming out a lot by himself, and so we get a lot of time together. I think we're just very kindred spirits. Love a lot of the same things. Love a lot of the same music and sports, things like that, and just became fast friends real quick.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of those things? Can I ask? Like what's some of the music you guys have bonded over? Or?
Oh, that's not ours.
I mean, we're both huge Petty fans, and and you know, he went and saw Ryan Adams last night.
I did.
So it's like it's stuff, rock and roll stuff like that that I always kind of grew up listening to. And our infatuation with Stephen Curtis Chapman. And, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think too. When I moved to Franklin, Nashville, that helped. I moved into David's neighborhood, not realizing I was moving into David's neighborhood. We lived in Redding, California, and so I was coming out to work with David for an album. And then we decided we just wanted to move and be in Tennessee and get closer to home. I'm from North Carolina, and so the day I put in an offer on a house, the day I was in town riding with David, and I remember I came back and told him, and he was like, "The house is in my neighborhood." And so I didn't really realize. I mean, I'd been to his house a lot, but just not.
Yeah.
You just hit maps and you don't know where you're going. You just follow it.
Right.
And so that was cool. I mean, living in the same neighborhood is just, when you're doing a lot, you're closer to each other and you do life. That's really. And then when we moved thankfully our wives like each other too.
That always
helps.
It's always a win.
Yeah. Because you've had that happen, where you're like buddies and you're like, but we don't do couple dates.
Yeah,
Can't do
when
couple dates
your
'cause-
wife's like, "Oh, you're hanging out with him again."
Yeah.
That never
well,
goes well.
usually it's like my wife loves like my guy friend. Like, oh, they're great, but maybe doesn't get along with the wife.
Yeah.
And so, but that's not the case. She loves Natalie. It's great.
It's a win.
It is a win.
All right, so you're on tour, you're in the hotel room, you're flipping channels. What's the movie or show that you always like land on? Even if you've seen it 100 times, like, oh, here it is.
Man, I feel like it's ridiculousness.
Oh yeah.
Every time you're in a
asleep to that.
hotel and then you turn on the TV, ridiculousness is on every single time.
For those not in the know, what is ridiculousness?
Well, it's on MTV, which we weren't allowed to watch when we were kids, but
It's like one of those shows where somebody's always getting hurt. Or
it's like it shows videos of like people, home videos
it's like America's Funniest Home Video
videos now,
but people getting hurt
With more injuries.
and it's it's people commenting on it and making it funnier.
Yeah.
So we definitely land on that a lot. I mean, I walk into a hotel room and just immediately turn the TV on and put it on ESPN.
Yeah.
And just have it run, just to like feel like
noise.
not alone and noise and but yeah.
What's one thing in your day that just makes your day instantly better?
Lunch.
That's a good answer.
You do like to take lunch.
I like lunch.
Like a long drawn out lunch?
No, I don't know. It's just the act of going and getting something to eat. It just breaks up the day.
That is funny. Every time we're there in the studio or writers,
Get lunch?
sometimes like, you guys just want to get lunch? You guys want? Doesn't that sound just like it?
It's like you just
It
need a
is.
break, man. Sometimes you need a break.
You come
I
back,
feel
you're
this.
refreshed, or you come back sleepy because
Yeah, that's true.
you ate something too heavy.
Yeah. Like
think-
that burger we just ate.
Like right, that's
And
yeah.
just sitting in front
That
of this
burger,
campfire,
this
I'm like,
campfire, I'm just staring at it.
Where did you guys
and
have a burger from?
Five
Five
Guys.
Guys. Yeah,
St. Louis staple, you know.
yeah.
I mean, you got to take a second mortgage on your home if you go there more than once a week. But
That's true.
It is.
It
it's
is
good
true.
food.
It's good.
I was trying to think my answer to that. Probably mine's coffee. Probably one thing
Yeah.
makes my day better. Afternoon coffee,
Mhm.
which I'm
That's
about
nice.
to do.
About to get that.
All right, we're gonna transition from food talk to like a heavy question, but we're guys. It's a campfire. We can be vulnerable for a minute.
Latest moral failure.
Is this a Promise Keepers question? What are we doing
no,
here?
this is just like, truthfully,
Secret sin.
no, I'm not gonna do that.
I got unspoken.
Yeah.
This is probably like revealing my own
This
my
is
own
like,
personal stuff.
Is
as
there
I-
sin in the camp? Either one of you?
Yeah, yeah. What is your biggest?
Yeah.
You ever feel like just completely inadequate to do what you do, like to go out on the road and night after night stand on the stage and
Every
I guess the
single
follow up to that
day.
is really
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, hands down.
What do you like? How do you combat that?
You just keep going.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's always somebody better. There's always something that's gonna make me feel inadequate, and I don't know. It's just the continued pushing down of those things, and just believing in the things that you know are true, which are, I feel like I do have something to say. I feel like God has given me something, and I think that goes for everybody. It's like no matter what you're doing, it's like the Lord has placed things in our life, whether it's people or other things, and I think it's just being confident in the fact of that. And some days are easier than others, but yeah, it's a constant struggle, especially with social media, because you're constantly looking at other people who are doing what we're doing and going, well, we don't get to do that, or whatever. And it's a deep well that'll send you down, but
I feel like it's like such a balancing act too, because you don't ever want to get to the spot where you're like feel like you deserve the things you have, but it's also like it's easy to get caught up in the like I'm not good enough for this too.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like live in that I don't know that equilibrium space there.
No, I think it's definitely a balance of like, well, obviously I feel like the Lord called me to this. He's equipped, I want to be bold and be confident in who I am and these songs and just what I was called to do. And then also there is a big responsibility that comes with it a lot of times when people are like looking at you a certain way and you feel like you need, and then you're like presenting the Lord to them. And so yeah, there is some heavy stuff that I think could come. I get more stressed out about the behind the scenes, all the other stuff, like the preparing, the admin, the stressful, like making, nights happen, like all before, when it comes to just like the leading worship and the like, or like playing a show one night, I don't feel it quite as much then, but, and I guess I don't feel it as much leading worship per se. Like if it's like Sunday or just something like we're at a church and I'm leading worship, I think I'm pretty good about not thinking about myself as much, because I'm just like, oh, this is all worship, which is, it's on the nights where it's like Josh Baldwin concert, or it's like, oh my gosh. And then I'm all the thing, those rush and people are paying to be here. And then I got to struggle with that and deal with that in my head. Like, and so I think it's those nights where I'm like, okay, I feel like a lot of pressure to like present the Lord maybe the way they want, or present the night the way they want, but also like people come up later and ask you questions that like, I don't know the answer to. I don't know. I just write songs and sing and lead worship. I'm not like a, but yeah, I just have to remember, like, I mean, I feel like the Lord called me to this, and this is, and he didn't like call me because I was like awesome or perfect, but I just need to keep trusting in him and keep asking him, and ask my wife a lot
Yeah.
But yeah.
You kind of touched on a little bit there, but just you guys have worked really hard to get where you're at, obviously, and have achieved some success. Is there anything that came with that caught you off guard? Like, I wasn't expecting this, or good or bad, just some byproducts of being a professional musician.
I think just still be doing this stuff. I mean, I think I've been in Nashville. It'll be 18 years this year in December. It'll be 18 years, and I think I'm just still blown away that I get to do this stuff. I think that's the biggest off guard thing. I think I have probably had 9 lives in this whole music industry, so it feels like it. So I'm just thankful.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel that. I was trying to think if anything bad caught me off guard, but I don't know that anything has been tough. I mean, it's everything, things are tough for everybody, but
This is being honest. I always feel like when an artist comes by here, to me, I always feel like it's probably the worst part of their day, right? Like, they just want to be on stage performing. Here? Yeah, like, they don't want to sit down and talk to a radio guy. Really?
Dude, the hardest part of the day is on stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's
so interesting, because to me it would be the opposite. Like, that's what you're used to doing. That's what you're like.
I mean, I'm not stressed about tonight because I know you guys and I feel very comfy here, maybe too comfortable. But yeah, that's way more stressful than talking and hanging and interviews and all that. It's I feel like pressure to get it right or play the right songs in the right order or all that stuff. Yeah. Which is funny that maybe that's the thing I don't like. After all these years, I still feel like that kind of pressure. And just the fact that I'm still doing, just the fact that I get in my car and drive to gigs and stuff I'm 44, and I was doing that in my 20s in North Carolina, getting paid nothing, just leading worship at churches with my buddies. And I don't think I would have thought 20 years later I'm still doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, actually making a living now and not working at a mobile home factory like I was. But so that's pretty crazy. It's cool. It's like, on the one end, it's like, wow, I'm still doing, like, this is amazing. I get to, and now people actually know some of my songs. Mm-hmm. Then on the other end, it's like, wow, I'm still doing this. I'm 40. Yeah. I'm in my 40s and still just gigging out. Yeah. And stuff. But it's such a blessing to get to do what you love. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Especially when you're sitting by a campfire.
Yeah. Right? You're hanging out here.
And it's not a smoky one. That's great. Is this a smokeless? This is one of those.
What's the smokeless?
A solo?
Yeah, the solos. Yeah.
Yeah, because the smoke's not bothering me.
So no, not really at all.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully the bugs, everything's good.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
All right.
It's great.
Well, one last question for you guys here. So this is might require a little bit of thought, but
all right.
You get to take one Joy FM artist, somebody that we play regularly, on the road with you. Now, they don't have to perform. They don't have to be part of the band. They just are like traveling with you. They're with you all the time.
Just for hangs?
Just for hangs, just to be there. Who's your person?
I mean, can we not pick each other?
Yeah. I should have put that rule out there.
Who we're gonna pick?
Yeah, present company excluded.
Okay, that makes it a lot harder. Oh, at least for me, maybe not for you. I don't know.
I don't know.
You picked me, right?
I would. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was number one.
Yeah,
you took that off.
God, who doesn't annoy you?
I know.
I'm glad you asked it that way and not who annoys you.
Who annoys you? Oh man, just to be on the bus hanging.
It's tough because you got to have that balance, right?
I mean, Mac Powell is pretty awesome.
An easy hang
on the bus.
I think I'd take a Ed Cash. Ed Cash would be a good hang.
That's true. Well, if I got Mac and you got Ed, we're gonna have some stories.
I think we're
because every night when we toured with Mac last year, and every night. It was just like a different. Okay, tonight let me tell you the story about I opened up for Willie Nelson. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like that every night. But
Yeah.
and Ed, I feel like would have tons of
Yeah.
awesome stories. Yeah, but we don't want either one of them singing.
No.
Get out of the way.
No, that's
let us-
not part
Voices
of it.
of the
Yeah.
of a
They're
generation.
two voices of a generation.
All right, it's about time to put a bucket of water on the campfire.
All right.
You
Let's
Any,
sure?
any parting thoughts?
Oh man.
Be kind.
Yeah, go and sin no more.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yes.
This is awesome. This is great.
was fun. Yeah.
Can we stay here? Can everybody else just come to us down here?